While OLED TVs are holding their own in the premium segment, their high prices makes them a stretch for many, especially for those looking for a 65-inch or larger size. High-end mini LED TVs, on the other hand, like the Bravia 7, are narrowing the gap and are now a very appealing option for people craving a premium TV experience in their living rooms. In fact, Sony is betting big on mini LED technology for its TVs. Even this year's flagship model, the Bravia 9, is a mini LED TV and not a QD OLED, and the Bravia 7 aims to bring the same immersive experience to your living room for a more accessible price. So is the Bravia 7 worth your hard-earned money? I am Deepak Singh, and let's answer that and more in this Bravia 7 review. Now to start with, the Bravia 7 has a premium design and feels quite substantial. The bezels are narrow with no distractions on the front. The back of the TV also has a clean look with Sony's signature checkerboard pattern. The TV doesn't ship with a stand in the box, and after you purchase it, you can request for a tabletop installation for Rs 2500 or a wall mount installation for Rs 1000. The metallic tabletop stand that we opted for looks great and is also quite sturdy. It is also height adjustable. Ports are side-facing and easily accessible. Out of the 4 HDMI ports, you can get full HDMI 2.1 bandwidth on 2 ports. One of these two can be used for eARC output to external sound systems. Now, comparable LG and Samsung TVs offer 4 HDMI 2.1 ports, but if you ask us, 2 HDMI 2.1 ports are sufficient and should meet the needs of most users. The TV ships with a familiar Sony remote, and this texture is indicative of its eco-friendly nature. The remote is made of flame retardant and recycled Soarplast plastic, which Sony also uses on several of its products. It's an ergonomic remote that is comfortable to hold and operate and has all the necessary buttons in the right places. Coming to the display quality, the Bravia 7 employs a good quality VA LCD panel with a mini LED backlight. On a 10% window, this panel can get almost 2000 nits bright. This enables the TV to deliver really impactful HDR, even in the professional mode, with an accurate white point. We couldn't measure the native contrast of this TV because even when the local dimming is turned off, it doesn't seem to fully deactivate. This limitation affects the accuracy of our contrast measurement with our equipment. The gamut coverage is also quite impressive. The panel can reproduce almost 100% of the Rec. 709 color space used for SDR content. As for HDR, the Bravia 7 supports 97% DCI-P3 coverage and 79% of BD 2020 coverage in UV terms. What really impressed us is how Sony handles the mini LED backlight and local dimming to enhance contrast while minimizing dimming related artifacts like halos and blooming. The panel is tad reflective, which helps create a sense of depth if you're watching in a relatively dark ambience, as is also recommended for HDR. So make sure there are no light sources directly in front of your TV screen during installation. The color volume takes into account the range of colors a TV can produce at different brightness levels. The color volume we measured exceeded our expectations for an LED LCD panel. The TV can reproduce 100% of Rec. 709 and nearly 90% of the DCI-P3 color volume. One major downside is that we noticed a slight loss of luminance and shifting of colors off-axis. While this is common for affordable VA panels, we expected wider viewing angles in the premium segment. For color accuracy, we took all measurements in the professional mode, which is the best mode for purists. The color temperature in both the professional mode and the cinema mode is close to the standard D65, which is great. The cinema mode is tuned for viewing in a casual viewing environment, and the professional mode is most accurate and meant for dark environments. The color accuracy in both the SDR and HDR mode is excellent on the Bravia 7. And since the TV supports AutoCal, enthusiasts can easily calibrate it further for a tighter response. In SDR, we recorded an average delta error of just 1.8 and a maximum delta error of 4.2 out of the box, which is really impressive. The TV can render dark and mixed HDR scenes rather well. Critical memory colors like skin tones, colors of the sky, and foliage are rendered accurately. As for HDR, the TV supports Dolby Vision and HDR10. Dark scenes once again are rendered beautifully. The TV also handled high dynamic range sequences with both bright highlights and shadows rather nicely. In HDR10, we recorded an average delta error of just 2.2, which is again excellent. Peak brightness can go close to 2000 nits in HDR on a 10% window, and the full field brightness goes up to 800 nits. For Prime videos, Sony Bravia 7 has a Prime calibrated mode that is enabled by default. The mode may appear dim at the start but is actually quite accurate. There's also a Netflix calibrated mode which isn't enabled by default, and the motion clarity felt really impressive. while watching content and also while gaming. Sony also does a great job when it comes to upscaling legacy content. Overall, if you are looking for reliable color accuracy out of the box, the Bravia 7 Mini LED TV certainly won't disappoint. This is a snappy TV as you'd expect at this price point. The content we played almost instantly switched to high resolution settings and playback controls worked smoothly. We did not notice any unexpected jitters while switching between apps. The Exynos processor is backed by 32 GB of storage, which gives some assurance that the performance shall remain snappy even after a period of use. Casting and screen mirroring works seamlessly across Android and iOS devices. Since the TV supports Apple AirPlay, Apple HomeKit and Chromecast built-in, screen mirroring works seamlessly across Android and iOS devices. Far-field microphones work accurately and the Bravia 7 could consistently respond to our voice prompts. The software is based on Google TV and is perhaps the best version of Google TV that we have experienced. Sony has invested considerable effort in offering a wide range of customization options on the Bravia 7, with default settings optimized to provide the best experience for everyday users. If you know what you're doing, you can toggle deeper within sub-menus and optimize the brightness and colors in different modes to your preferences. There are several preloaded Sony apps which are well designed. The Sony Bravia Core app is now available in India and offers a vast selection of titles from Sony Pictures, including some with IMAX enhanced and with 80 Mbps pure stream. Bravia 7 users will also get 10 free credits to add content to their library and stream in high quality for 24 months. Additionally, you can also register your Bravia TV to enjoy a 3-month free subscription to Sony Live. To test gaming, we played games like Ghost of Tsushima, Witcher 3 and Spider-Man 2 on our PS5. The TV has a low latency game mode and supports HDMI 2.1 gaming features like ALLM and VRR on HDMI 3 and 4 ports. The gameplay was perfectly smooth. In dark sequences, HDR impact fell a little short of what you'd get on an OLED TV, but it was still pretty awesome. The TV can render bright HDR games impressively. Now, Sony has always done well with audio quality on its premium TVs, and the Bravia 7 is no different. The audio is well balanced, rich and vibrant. The soundstage is wide and dialogues were crystal clear on both low and high volumes. Sony's acoustic audio tuning feature offers the option to calibrate audio specifically for your room setup. In a test center, the difference was subtle, though this may provide a more noticeable enhancement in your living space. In conclusion, the Sony Bravia 7 proved to be a very impressive TV. In my opinion, it strikes a decent balance between performance and price, especially for those looking for a 65-inch or larger TV in the premium segment. What you're essentially paying for is Sony's impressive mini LED backlight technology and Sony's XR image processing, which do make an impact. The Bravia 7 offers high peak brightness for an impactful HDR experience along with excellent color accuracy. You also get rich and clear audio along with well-designed software. There's also solid build quality and a gaming experience that hits the mark. One notable downside is that the viewing angles are not as wide as expected in this segment, which means that the Bravia 7 might not be the best fit for large spaces where many people would be watching off-axis. So if you have more specific questions, ask us in the comments below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. This is Deepak Singh signing off, and I'll catch you in the next one.